The Tommy Campbell Show. Thanks for tuning back into The Tommy Campbell Show. I'm Tommy Campbell, still bald, still in my basement, and still blasting the latest and stupid, including the obtuse world of Donald Trump tariffs that are blowing up in his Hawkins cheesy spray tan face like Space Karen's latest failed rocket launch that caused heaps of delays and redirection because jets plus airborne debris equals death. But this wasn't the only aircraft fail of the week. Images of the Enola Gay, the aircraft that dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima in Japan, are among those being erased because of Fox News host Pete Hegseth's war on anything he considers to be DEI. The B-29 Superfortress bomber that helped end World War II? Get rid of it! It's super gay. They're acting like it was shaped like a unicorn covered in sparkles, airdropping rainbow dildos and B-52 albums. The plane was named after Enola Gay Tibbets, the mother of the pilot, Colonel Paul Tibbets. Images of historically significant military achievements or personnel such as the Tuskegee Airmen and the first female Marine Corps infantry graduates have been flagged for removal, and they are paying to do this. It all costs money, and they are telling you they're saving money. DOE staffers are taking in six figures. The Dow had the worst week in 2 years, and you have little Mike Johnson, who looks like a toy version of himself, next to these ladies.
Yes, the president is now, 45 days into his administration.
Something like that.
We're transitioning from Bidenomics and the just terrible economy that was delivered by the last administration. It takes a while to turn that ship around, but we are doing that. And the Congress is working to codify all the executive orders that the president is doing.
Rocket blowing up. You can't turn this one around, Mike. You took a great economy, you had tremendous international relations, and now it's like you opened that blue Tiffany box, pocketed the silver, pinched a loaf inside, and said, look at this mess.
Tremendous tariff on lumber and things as such, and yet we don't need their lumber. We have more lumber than they do. We don't need Canada's lumber. So what I'm doing is I'll be signing an executive order freeing up our forests so that we're allowed to take down trees and make a lot of money and then reharvest trees. Also, we're cutting fire divides. A fire divide is a 50-yard to 70-yard swath where the trees can't, it's long enough so trees don't burn forever until you can get them out. Our forests are massive forests. We're just not allowed to use them because of the environmental lunatics that stopped us. And we have lumber. We have the best lumber. Go ahead.
You hear that, Forrest? We're going to make you free. You're going to be chopped down and reharvested. It's no shocker that this guy has zero grasp about growing wood, since the only way he can achieve pine is with Ivanka's Instagram and a handful of imported pepperoni pills from Ronnie Jackson.
Subscribe.
British Columbia is a world leader in sustainable forest management. Over 7.5 billion trees have been planted. 80% of harvested areas are reforested by planting, the balance through natural regeneration. BC uses a mix of over 20 different native tree species. This helps maintain ecosystem processes, resilience, and diverse habitats. Canadian lumber is known for its high quality due to the extensive forest coverage and the cold climate in Canada, which results in trees that grow slowly, producing dense, strong wood. And now it's time for Bring That Tweet Back. This was from 2021, before I was shadow banned. Eric Trump is on Hannity complaining about the price of lumber and how the cost to build homes in America is up 20%, when it was his dad that put the 20% tariffs on Canadian softwood. LOL. 2021. And it's only going to get more costly to build homes with the new tariffs, and that's going to be passed on to you, the consumer. Trump is so stupid he's willing to chop down a national park just to dodge the tariffs, and then everyone can wait a few decades until the next harvest to the reharvesting. Trump signed actions to increase domestic lumber production in national forests and other public lands, directing federal agencies to look for ways to bypass protections for endangered species. For reals. Trump's executive order has demanded an expansion in tree cutting across 280 million acres of national forests and other public lands. It's estimated in order to meet the demand, Trump would have to cut down 17 million trees just to catch up to the amount of lumber they import from Canada.
So you guys are going to follow through?
We have to follow through until he drops tariffs completely. He's putting everything on hold for 30 days, and we know what happened last time. He said 30 days, and a week later or 2 weeks later, he brings the tariffs back. You touch the stove once, you get burnt, you don't touch that stove again. And we're going to make sure that we follow through with what we said we were going to do. Until we get a deal, we're going to add more tariffs. It's about time the senators, the elected officials in Michigan stand up, the Republicans, and in New York and in Minnesota. So they need to stand up and say, this is hurting our country. You're attacking our closest friends and allies, and we will be relentless until the tariffs are dropped. But
multiple states rely on power from Canada, 1.5 million homes, because the two countries have a symbiotic relationship that's existed for decades. Doug Ford is right. You don't go touch that stove again. Trump keeps changing his mind because he has no idea what he's doing. Remember, the top Google search in red states after Trump was elected was, "What is a tariff?" Trump's tariffs will also seriously bone Alaska because trucks cannot get there without going through Canada. So not only are they going to face tariffs, but Premier David Eby, remember the guy from the Invictus Games speech that you liked? Eby will introduce legislation in the coming days, giving it the ability to levy fees on U.S. trucks traveling through the province to Alaska. Again, everything was fine. And now we're reaching a point that it would be impossible to print enough Trump stickers to cover all the damage he's done.
There could be some disturbance, a little bit of disturbance. I solved a little bit of that.
Some disturbance? It's the economy, not the force, you idiot. Trump agreed to temporarily exempt automobiles from the tariffs at the request of the three largest U.S. automakers, and he'll continue to flip-flop because he's clueless. Here's a dealer reacting to tariffs just a few days ago. It's fantastic.
I sold order for a customer, $80,000 truck. It's $100,000 now. So he's not going to buy the truck. It's going to sit on my lot at the higher interest rates we're paying right now for floor plan, and nobody's going to buy the truck because it just had a $20,000 price increase.
Right. Kelley Blue Book will put the number up. They say the average vehicle will go up by about $3,000. Does it sound right to you?
No, it will not.
No. The cars in my lot are all 70 to 80 grand. It's going to go up a lot more than that. He had to hike the prices of his trucks by $20K overnight.
And you've been basing your business model on free trade, basically. There's no tariff on the German cars coming in now.
No, they're
Japanese.
They're going to be okay. But think about it. We built our business around that. The OEMs built their business around that, and now it changes on a dime. And we can't build a $4 billion plant overnight in the United States. So I think building in the United States is great. I think enhancing the participation from the other countries on the other things, but this is pretty radical.
Why was Fox there? Did they really think he'd be cheering on the tariffs? But this is the best part. Watch Maria's reaction.
I hear you. There you go, Maria, where the rubber meets the road here.
All right, great. Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, exactly. Jeff, thank you. Thank you so much. Jeff Flock at the Dodge Ram plant. Not plant. It's not a plant, Chris. They're selling cars. Thank you, dealership. But you know what? Let me ask you this, okay?
Yes.
How many Dodge Rams do you see driving around Europe? Okay. How many Dodge Rams do you see driving around India? I mean, not many, I bet. Why? Because they don't buy our cars. And that's what President Trump is trying to change. Maybe Dodge should start building them here and selling them here.
Total meltdown. Okay, you know, I lived in Europe for years. You don't see these vehicles in abundance over there because the roads are thinner, petrol is far more expensive, and people don't have this emotional support truck obsession mentality that means you have to have an unnecessarily huge vehicle. Yeah, I get people have work trucks, but I'm adjacent to a lot of folks with big trucks that commute in them. The only time I see anything in the back is maybe once a year when they're getting rid of an old couch. Easy, JD Vance, not going to your house. But many cars produced in North America contain parts from Canada, USA, Mexico. They go back and forth multiple times. Manufacturing is complicated. The idea that we'll just build it here as a solution is a total joke. And again, plenty of Dodge vehicles are made in the USA, Maria. I said it before. Okay, great. You want to make everything good for you. But why should another country buy your product if you refuse to buy theirs? We all have to work together. Also, yeah, it takes years to build a factory. Even if someone wanted to make a plant down the road, you won't see the assembly line cranking out vehicles till 2030. Also, Dodge Ram drivers have the most DUIs, more than twice the national average, with 1 in 22 having a DUI. Is that what Matt Gaetz was driving? How many teens can you fit in the back? Alex here, still in the bunker with Marjorie. Again, good dude. For those not aware, I've been very close with MTG for several years. Yeah, it's not just Brian Glenn and the multiple CrossFit reject trainers while she was married. Seriously, she's been shared so much Metallica is gonna sue her. Marjorie Torrent Green should be her name. She's like the Napster of adultery, okay? Well, this week she tried to distance herself from Brian after all the backlash she's received, and it's totally unfair. You know, if Rocky IV came out today, America, you'd be cheering for Ivan Drago. It's true. Sly Stallone's Republican. Even he would be like, I'm just gonna give you the belt. It's true. But times are changing, and America is making a comeback. Even measles are here thanks to years of nonsense from uninformed, non-medical people like me, Bobby Brainworms, and Dr. Joe Rogan. So just load up on vitamin A, cod liver oil, super booster, get a tanning bed, and some Red Bull, and you'll be fine. It works. I'm serious, buy my vitamins. So Marjorie needed some comfort. I'll even Netflix and chill with her by the fireplace. Like, I fuel it with Canadian 2x4s. I don't know how to chop wood. I just went to Home Depot and was like, yeah, put it in the back there, Ricky-Dicky Ding Dong, whatever your name is. But when things start to get hot with my Mickey Rourke and the wrestler-headed Georgia Gremlin, I need to remind her that it is mission critical that I'm not exposed to a single rotten turnip pore on one of her mortadella meat stump feet. Full transparency, Marjorie has a net worth of $41 million, and she has not invested a single cent. Not even a bit of Bitcoin, Dogecoin, whatever coin, no coins, nothing. Into sorting out the crisscross ginger root toes that look like Mike Johnson took his gavel to a string of expired chipolatas and then used the dollar store glue from Lauren Boebert's Day Dancer eyelashes to secure them to her feet that look like Stevie Wonder used Eric's golden turd tongs to try and build an appendage out of Freddy Krueger's face. Because what is the rule, MTG?
The socks stay on.
The socks stay on.
Dems need to drop the Russophobia. Is that supposed to be Russia-phobia, or is this fear of Rene Russo? Australia should shut up. Their leads are big losers who have turned the country into socialist country. Blink 5 times if you're forced to do this at gunpoint. It's painful to watch, but I need to know if you're being coerced or if you've gone full America bad party. Multiple stites. After Enola... Oh, my beverage is there. It's hurting Americans and it's hurting Canarians. I've been to the Canary Islands multiple times. Here's some pictures.
America would be cheering for Ivan Drago. He's so hot in those red shorts. We love you, Ivy.
It's no shocker that this guy has zero grasp about growing wood, since the only way he can achieve pine is with Ivanka's Instagram and a handful of imported pepperoni pills from Ronnie Jackson. Such a terrific doctor.
Took his gavel to a string of expired chipolatas and then used the dollar store glue from Lauren Boebert's Day Dancer eyelashes to...
It takes a lot to make this one-man show. If you love what I do here, drop me a PayPal tip, leave me a super thanks, consider being a member, check out some of my merch, and if you shop on Amazon, click through my link. It's that simple.
The Tommy Campbell Show is the best political comedy show on YouTube, and I hope you subscribe.